I just hit myself. I've been hitting myself all day today. I've just been bumping into random things. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday about how important it is to discard yourself, to break out of your norms and to try different things, even if you may feel out of touch, out of place, weird. It's kind of like forget yourself. And there's this amazing quote, it's a stoic quote that essentially says, I forgot like what it is, but it says the more you can change, it's by Einstein. The mark of intelligence or the intelligent person is their ability to change. So, it's not a stoic quote. We are so accustomed to being a certain way, even our identity. That's why when people live in a certain way, they have a problem switching, code switching. And there's this amazing thing that I realized about code switching, which is not limited to dialect, by the way. If you know that phrase from that association, like code switching has to do with memory, also identity, like all that stuff. So we can code switch identities too. And if you are somebody that has DID, which is like dissociative disorder, then you know that it's possible to have many different identities. You can use each one in your life to accomplish something different. For example, each identity may have a different talent or skill. The reason I'm saying this is because we can actually develop many different identities. And Geminis are really, really good at this. Especially if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart. Like, I've just seen this with Gemini, so I know this. But it's possible to be, somebody different depending on who you want to become. I'll give you an example. I was not a coach before I was a coach. I had to become a coach. I had to step into the identity of coach. Same thing with, when I sing or when I dance or when I perform. I'm not necessarily coaching, like I'm performing. So I code switch. Um, if you can learn how to do this, you will have better success in figuring out your path and then going after it. Of course, having many different talents and skills like gets confusing sometimes, but if you can just choose one and go down that one, then you'll have better luck at excelling in that field or in that space. And you'll actually have the ability to master like any talent or skill that you want. So there's nothing that is off limits for you. There's nothing that you can't do. And, you know, it's just all about focus. It's all about streamlining your focus in such a way that it actually amplifies the more that you do a certain task. What I love about the digital age is that we have the ability to get inspired from people that create beautiful, brilliant art, whether it be music or writing or video, just the spread of information in general, education. It's widespread, it's global, it's all accessible, and it's perfect. It's perfect, I would recommend everybody watching this video to keep a journal so that you can learn how to decode your subconscious mind, learn how to analyze your subconscious mind. And what you will find in there is not just pain you've been repressing or trauma you've been repressing, but also dreams, wishes, goals, and desires and aspirations that your soul has that maybe you didn't see before because you were going down one path or chasing one thing, or like too convinced that you wanted something, or too convinced that you were made or meant for something. But if you actually go within your subconscious, you'll see that, oh, there are various different archetypes of me. I can choose the highest by first healing my wounds so that those are not an obstruction to my desires, or those do not fuel my desires. Very important, because sometimes we pursue things because we want to fill a void, right? That's really, really important. Like, I've seen it happen. People just want to be super successful. Oh my God, see my English. Super successful, because as a child they were not like given some recognition or something. Like, um, Just see where that rings true for you and then seek to heal the wound authentically, um without chasing something to fill that wound, because it happens and it can keep you on a path that ultimately will actually bring up the wound. Man usually meets his destiny on the path he takes to avoid it. So heal the wound first. That's why I recommend the journal. Heal the subconscious mind, from all the karma and trauma really that we've had to endure being in a physical human body in this life, and rectify that, really, really heal that, solve that. And then from there, when you are walking with God, this is what it is to walk with God. This is the path, really, of walking with God. He helps you heal, and then you give him your life and you say, okay, my life is yours. I'm dead to myself. I'm dead to my karma. I don't exist. My life is yours. What do you want me to do? And I can just give you my personal anecdote with this because it's kind of crazy. Like, what he asked me to do is to teach, like to coach first and foremost. And then I would ask, like, okay, but I like fashion and I like music and I like dance. Is that okay? And he said, put it together, incorporate it. And this was a little bit like hard for me because I was raised in a really, really, really strict way. Like, think military training. Like, that was my life. I was raised in a really strict way where personal self-expression was like not like there. It was not a thing. It was like, no, you can't. Like, you are not allowed. It was really rigid. Um so as I grew, like, I am a very free spirit. So that reflects in my fashion, that reflects in my words and my content. Like, it's really like I'm always on the path of reclaiming my inner child. I am my inner child. So I had to be okay with going against the way I was raised and just being myself. And God led me. He said, go for it.